What if everything we've been told about human origins is a lie? Ancient tablets speak of sky gods, a hidden tomb, and a secret legacy buried beneath the sands. Were we created by extraterrestrials? Stay with me, because what you're about to hear may change how you see humanity forever. A legend buried for thousands of years is beginning to rise from the dust of time. The last king of an ancient race, known as the Anunnaki, may have left behind a legacy powerful enough to change everything we thought we knew about our origins. According to the ancient Sumerian myths, humans are not the result of a random evolutionary process. No, we are the product of a genetic experiment by beings from the stars. These beings, the ones our ancestors called gods, created us and then left. But not entirely. Some believe they're still watching us. And while most of humanity continues living in blissful ignorance, there may be hidden forces, perhaps secret power groups, trying to cover up the truth, control knowledge, and manipulate the fate of Earth. The answers, many researchers believe, may lie within the tomb of the last Anunnaki king, a tomb that some say has recently been found. Anunnaki, the name means those who came from the heavens and the earth. In ancient civilizations like Sumer, Akkad, Babylon, and Assyria, they were described as powerful gods ruling over the skies, the land, and mankind. Records written in cuneiform go back over 5,000 years. But in modern and alternative theories, the Anunnaki are not just religious symbols. They are believed to be real extraterrestrial beings who once walked the earth. The first to popularize this theory was Zecharia Sitchin, an Azerbaijani-American author. In his 1976 book, The 12th Planet, he introduced a controversial idea. The Anunnaki were aliens from a distant planet called Nibiru. According to him, around 450,000 years ago, this planet came near Earth, and the Anunnaki arrived, not for exploration, but for mining resources. Unable to endure Earth's harsh conditions, they needed labor. But instead of training workers, they created them. By combining their own DNA with that of Earth's native species, they created humans, a hybrid biological race, primitive at first, aggressive, and physically powerful. These early humans were labor machines, but hard to control. So the Anunnaki tweaked their design, producing a softer, more manageable, and surprisingly beautiful version of humans, so alluring that even the gods themselves couldn't resist, especially the women. Soon, humans were no longer just slaves. Some of the gods grew attached, and that's when things got out of hand. One high-ranking Anunnaki began to care deeply for humanity, and according to Sitchin's research, their home planet, Nibiru, lies within our own solar system. But it's unlike anything we know. Nibiru has an extremely long and elliptical orbit, only approaching Earth once every 3,600 years. And every time it returns, chaos follows. Some modern astronomers speculate that the still undiscovered Planet 9 at the edge of the solar system might actually be Nibiru, but mainstream science has never confirmed it. So, is there any scientific proof behind this crazy theory? The answer is no concrete proof, but also no definitive disproof. Sitchin's critics claim he mistranslated Sumerian texts, misread symbols, and misused grammar. But ironically, no one has been able to provide a more accurate or universally accepted translation of those ancient texts. And genetic science? It says there's no sign of alien DNA in our genome. But how reliable is that claim? Really? How would we even recognize alien DNA if we've never seen it before? We share 85% of our genome with cats and 99% with chimpanzees. A tiny difference in code makes an entirely different species. So if someone tampered with our ancestors' DNA hundreds of thousands of years ago, how could we even tell? That's what makes many question whether mainstream science, as powerful as it is, really holds all the truth. Perhaps they too are limited, or manipulated by forces that shall not be named. Things that cannot be explained often get buried, denied, or just disappear. And so we return to the Sumerians, a civilization that appeared out of nowhere, suddenly mastering astronomy, timekeeping, law, urban planning, record-keeping, financial systems, writing, all without any known preceding culture to teach them. How did former farmers and nomads become city engineers and cosmic mathematicians in just a few generations? It's no surprise that many believe the Sumerians were directly descended from or taught by the Anunnaki themselves. In Sumerian mythology, An was the god of the sky, the supreme deity, father of all gods. His son Enlil was the god of storms, wind, and law. Enki, Enlil's brother, was the god of wisdom, knowledge, and magic. Enki is said to have created humans by mixing genes, but Enlil, strict and authoritarian, wanted to use humans as slaves. When the gods decided to leave Earth, An ordered the destruction of humanity. Enlil agreed, but Enki did not. Enki loved humanity. He saw our potential, and he resisted the order. He taught humans, guided them, helped them grow. The divine battle between the brothers began then, and some believe it continues to this day, through wars, power structures, and global conflict. And then there are the whispers of a hidden tomb, the final resting place of the last Anunnaki king who stayed behind on Earth. For decades, researchers have scoured deserts from Mesopotamia to Arabia to Syria. They've found ruins, stone carvings, and city foundations buried under sand. Some believe that this tomb is more than a grave. It may hold the final message from the Anunnaki to humanity. It could be a treasure trove, an underground base, or simply stone tablets inscribed with truths about our origins. It may be somewhere in Rub al-Khali, the empty quarter, or in ancient Nippur, now part of Iraq. But many of these areas are restricted due to war, political tension, or government control. Rumors suggest that the Iraqi and Iranian governments are keeping key archaeological discoveries under wraps, denying foreign access. Maybe it's all fantasy, or maybe it's all true. But if what's inside that tomb is undeniable proof that humanity wasn't born, but created, then are you ready to face that truth? And the biggest question of all remains, what exactly lies inside that tomb? If it really is the burial site of an Anunnaki, then what's left inside isn't just bones. It could be alien tech, forbidden knowledge, or a message left for us, the children of heaven and earth. Some independent researchers claim to have found ancient symbols similar to cuneiform in southern Iraq's deserts, near ancient Nippur, once Sumer's religious heart. They talk of stone carvings showing sky-fire ships, or a black heart of stone buried deep underground, said to contain the truth about humanity's origins. A knowledge storage device? A cosmic transmitter? Or just a forgotten religious relic? It's hard to know, especially when most of the archaeological sites are in restricted or militarized zones. For years, independent archaeologists have tried to get permission and been denied without explanation. Why such strange secrecy? Is someone trying to keep the truth hidden? And that's not all. There are reports that the U.S. government confiscated strange artifacts from the Middle East after the 2000s Iraq War, including stone tablets with cuneiform inscriptions describing Nibiru and the god's return. These findings were never made public. Some say they were locked away in top-secret archives, possibly even Area 51. The story gets more tangled. It's no longer a simple legend. It's a shattered puzzle with pieces scattered across the world, waiting for someone brave enough to put them back together. You might ask, why does this matter? So what if we were created by aliens? The answer? It changes everything. Religion, theories of life, our understanding of the soul, of existence, would all have to be written. If we were shaped not by God, but by an advanced species, then the next question is, where did they go? And will they return? If Nibiru is real and the 3,600-year cycle is true, then we may be living in the final years before the gods return. And if they do, are they friends or rulers? Strangely, the Sumerians were able to describe planetary orbits, cosmic distances, and even map the solar system in carvings, details that only became verifiable with space telescopes in recent decades. How did they know? In a famous carving, the Sumerians depict 11 planets orbiting the sun, including a large one on the outskirts, named Nibiru. They described it as having an elliptical orbit, returning every few millennia. Each return brings upheaval, floods, volcanic eruptions, or rebirth. Some researchers believe the biblical Great Flood was part of this cosmic cycle, and that Noah, or Utnapishtim from the Epic of Gilgamesh, was warned by Enki. If true, then myth, religion, and science are all just fragments of a larger, unified truth. Many questions remain, and maybe they'll never be answered. But the clues, the signs, and the faint warnings, they all lead us back to the desert, to where civilization was born. Maybe the last Anunnaki king is long gone, but his footsteps remain, and maybe if we dare to dig deep enough, we'll find ourselves. And if we really are the descendants of an alien race, that raises an even bigger question. What is our purpose? Is humanity just a long-running experiment under observation, waiting? Are we living up to the expectations we were created for? Or have we strayed far from the original design? Some long-forgotten legends, passed down by Babylonian priests, Assyrian scribes, and Sumerian mystics, speak of an ancient promise. When mankind matures, when we discover our true nature by ourselves, the Anunnaki will return, not to rule, but to judge whether we deserve to continue. That's why some believe our rapid advancements in technology, AI, genetics, and space exploration are no coincidence. Maybe we're approaching a checkpoint where humanity will be tested and chosen. If we continue destroying the environment, waging wars, and worshipping power, maybe we'll fail that test. But if we learn to live peacefully, to protect Earth, the planet we were allowed to inhabit, maybe a different future awaits, where humanity joins a greater cosmic community. An idea that sounds too big, too unbelievable, but is it really that far-fetched? Today, independent researchers, fringe archaeologists, and even former intelligence officers claim that much is being hidden. Videos vanish from the internet, satellite images go missing, ancient structures are discovered and suddenly classified. These things are no longer rare. Even NASA, in reports from the 1980s to 2000, acknowledged the possible existence of a strange planet on the solar system's edge, calling it Planet X. But then, all studies were abruptly halted. Maybe due to funding, or maybe someone said stop. In the deserts of ancient Mesopotamia, there are zones where satellites can't capture detailed images. Strange in an age when you can zoom in on a car from space. These places are rumored to house sensitive archaeological sites, underground structures, or perhaps abandoned ancient bases. Deep tunnels, carved stones, and sealed chambers. Some leaked videos from self-identified archaeologists show massive black stone slabs carved with strange symbols, buried dozens of meters underground. Some resemble astronomical diagrams or 3D geometric patterns still not fully understood. Some slabs even emit weak radiation, like long-dormant electronics not entirely shut down. If this is real, if these are the remnants of an alien civilization, then this isn't just a legacy. It's a warning, a reminder. Don't forget where you came from. Don't forget what you were. Don't assume you're the center of the universe. Not when you've only just begun looking beyond your tiny planet. One researcher once said, "We are not alone, but our isolation is self-imposed." Maybe the Anunnaki didn't abandon us forever. Maybe they're just waiting to see if we're worthy of the gift they left behind. And the tomb of the last king may not be just a burial site, but the final symbol, the key that unlocks a much greater truth. A truth that once revealed could transform all of humanity. Forever.